Hey, good morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgros. I know the teas might get you a little riled up, almost like tracking a snowstorm. Often in the winter, we have these storms that are out in the west, and we can say, hey, it's going to be here, and it's kind of this circular area, and then it's going to come up this way. I'm identifying the same thing with a rain system up in Canada that's heading south. And I've been talking about this for a couple of days now, but now that it's into Canada, the models sample it better, know how to forecast it better. Not perfect just yet, so I'll show you what I mean there. And well, heck, let's get to it and I'll show you what I mean. And I am fully functional today, folks. So I can say hi to Cora Hillard and Kelly McMichael. Thanks for watching. And I can say hi to Jeffrey G. Jones. Good morning from Toledo, Ohio. And Tammy Langley in Howell. Mark Ambrosi. Hey, good morning, too. Here we go. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. So look at the radar right now. See the rain blob up in Canada, north of North Dakota? That is the storm system we will be tracking over the next, 36 to 48 hours heading toward us. And I think you can actually see it better on the satellite pictures. See the cloud mass up in North Dakota and Canada? Well, remember, I've been telling you this, everything is moving from northwest to southeast. Now, that's a very common storm track in summer as the heat builds out west, the jet stream wells up into Canada, and then dips into the Great Lakes in the northeast. So that's the way the storm systems come. So that's what we'll be tracking. The question is, which model is correct? And remember, I feel like what we do wrong in meteorology is that we just, here's a model, here's a model. I hate it. You know, I just don't like it because it says, well, anybody could do it. No, there's still us meteorologists. Experience, okay? And experience tells us that in the hottest weeks of summer, models err on bringing a storm system too far south. The heat is stronger and inches it north. Same opposite is same in late January, early February. Models tell us here comes a storm. The cold air is in place, and the storm is usually not far, 50 or 100 miles farther south from what it said 3 and 4 days out. So there's the storm system that we're going to focus on, okay? Hey, you're welcome, Karen Sue Mertz and Mark and Linda Dittmer. Thanks for watching this morning. So focus up again. You got to find Michigan. Let me get it centered for you here. There we go, Mark. Okay, so try to find Michigan, kind of almost in the center of the screen. It sticks out pretty good. Wisconsin sticks out good for me. You're seeing isobars, lines of pressure. You're seeing upper level temperatures in red. You're seeing areas of rain. You see that area of rain up in southern Canada. This is the European model. It is a good model. I don't think it's the best model in thunderstorm complexes. And Sandy Lambert, Mackinac City will be fantastic next week. And Samantha Degano, thanks for watching. So, European, a good model, but probably not the best model in this. I'll show you the best model, I think. So here is today, and we have a dry day today. Models trying to indicate maybe an isolated shower in the far southwest corner in the next hour or two, but that is about it. So there it is, Friday morning. Does that kind of remind you of the track of almost an Alberta Clipper like, okay? So this is Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Friday overnight, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. So see the track of what this model does, takes it from southern Canada across Minnesota, across Wisconsin, solid rain, across the southwest third of lower Michigan and to the south. Now, the model that I like You always hear European, European, European. It's not the best model in every situation. We have a model in the US called the NAM, the North American model. And it is, I think, the best at, say, 12 to 36 or 48 hours out. The storm system that's already into the US or Canada, so it's sampled good by the model. And so let's see what that one shows. And remember, I told you that we're in the heat of summer, so storms tend to be farther north than what the European says. And a lot of this is also what I call, hey, you're getting a whole bunch here today for free. This is also what I call the It's a Wonderful Life syndrome. You've all seen it, the movie It's a Wonderful Life, right? And he says, Murray, or I don't know what he says, something about, I wish I was never born, and he kicks the tire or whatever. And then, whoa, it happens. Well, models, what happens in weather right now is a thunderstorm that isn't born yet. It'll be born this afternoon or this evening, will then recalibrate where that whole complex and storm will move. So a model is forecasting now for Friday into Saturday, and it doesn't know about the thunderstorms that are maybe born in a wrong spot. So let's go to the NAM, and I'll show you the difference. Hey, good morning, Lincoln Park. I love your band. All right, so here is today. Now, this is the North America model, radar forecast. This is Friday, 1 in the afternoon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Friday night, it brings the complex across southern Michigan and then takes it east. So still, it's a southern third of the state. It's just a question of, is it the southwest third and skip southeast Michigan, or does it travel across from I-69 southward and bring a good rain across the southern, the Lansing, Ann Arbor area? Let's see. Corey Sheldon, we're supposed to stain the deck this weekend in Jackson. Dang it. You should be good. It should be good weather for that once this thing has moved through. Okay, so now we look at a bigger model, the US model called the GFS. It's improved. It's, if there's politics in weather for us meteorologists, the GFS, the improved, the model of choice for the National Weather Service and NOAA, they've made some great improvements in places like hurricane forecasting for it. That's very important. Up here in the Great Lakes, it's not worthless, but if it's the only one we had, you'd say, wow, you guys aren't very good. So the US model, you can see the difference, and it's got just a small complex Friday afternoon and gone. Rainfall totals. So now let's look at the NAM, the model that I like, and it could be a little overdone, but here's its rainfall total. And the southern part of the state, the point being is, don't look at the exact location, the exact amounts, but the point being is that this has the makings of a 1 to 3 inch rain for 2 or 3 rows of counties across southern Michigan. Rain for Saturday in Freeport, Tom Ramsey? No, should be out of there some point Saturday morning. So here's the NAM. Now what you're seeing is the reds are 2 inches of rain. So that one's farther north, and the I don't know what color that is. It's a violet or something like that. That's a 4 to 5 inch rain. Possible at this time of the year? Yes, certainly. With that kind of storm system, yes, certainly. Exact placement? No. Still in the snowstorm phase. Hey, do you like seeing me a lot? I don't know why I'm addicted to just flip-flopping back and forth between the map and the camera. Like a snowstorm. Just think about a snowstorm where if this was January 14th, I'd be saying, hey, here's the heavy band of snow, but it could shift south or north 25 miles. So stay tuned with me. So this one's actually going to be fun to track. And let's hope it's fun to track in the northerly direction so we all get a good rain. This would be, farmers used to call these kind of rains uh, $1 million rains back when I first started in the late 80s. These are $1 million rains. Now, with crop prices, this can be a $1 billion rain. All right, now that's the North American model, the model I like the most because it handles convection the best, thunderstorms. This is the European model, handles overall situations the best, and there's what it does. And it does the southwest third. It gives Jackson the rain. It gives part of Detroit the rain, and Ann Arbor. And again, we shouldn't focus on the exact position because this could shift a county or two north, and then all of a sudden Grand Rapids is in some decent rain, and Lansing and Flint and Oakland County are in some decent rain. Let's see. Teresa, this is for Friday night into Saturday morning, basically, is what we're talking about. And the European, notice it's showing 1 to 1.5 inches. Why is it so much less? Because it's not a good model for convection thunderstorms. The US model, the NAM, very good for that. High resolution rapid refresh, another US model, excellent for that, but that's only in the next 12 to 24 hours. So it's too far out for this one. See, aren't you glad you got me around? Otherwise, you'd be looking at these silly phone apps, not knowing what the weather's going to be doing. So I'm kind of like, have you seen Top Gun Maverick? That's an excellent movie. We went with our friends Jim and Corey and Robert and Lori the other night. Excellent movie, but he comes in there. You're going to be a dinosaur. Drones are going to replace you. Yeah, human meteorologists, we are going to be a dinosaur, but I'm going to still be needed for the next 5 years before I retire. All right, so there's a North America model, and so what we're talking about is tracking a rain. I guess long story short. Kerry Draper, do you think Kingsley will get hit? No, not with the good stuff. I don't think he can move that far north. The NAM brings a thunderstorm through. You can get these side thunderstorms that bring small areas um, of rainfall, but the widespread solid rain, i.e., like a band of snow in a snowstorm, probably in the southern part of Michigan, and we're just toggling between the North American model, good rain with some heavy rains, and the European model, good rain with 2/3 of lower Michigan being missed. Now, what do we do on temperatures? Okay, we go back to the European for that. It's okay. Um, and it comes along. Actually, who's the best on that is the Climate Prediction Center because they get to look at all the models, all the runs, all the ensembles, and they get to see what is going on. Brooke Essler, Grand Haven would be probably in a decent rain if this holds true. We'll track it for 24 hours. Stick with me here on MLive. Today, a beautiful day, about 80 degrees. Tomorrow, warmer a little, especially Saginaw Valley, Thumb, southern Michigan, 85 to 87. Saturday, warming up mid to upper 80s. Sunday, approaching 90 degrees in a lot of places. Monday, into the low 90s in a lot of places. Tuesday, in the 90s in a lot of places. Wednesday, in the 90s southeast half of the state. Thursday in the low 90s. Now, the European yesterday, and it does have a pitfall too. It is too cold sometimes at the end of its run, 8, 9, 10 days out. And yesterday it showed a cold front sweeping through while the Climate Prediction Center had a long range forecast that looked quite hot. The European run yesterday was sweeping this cold front through. Now it comes back and it says today, it says that next Thursday, pretty warm. Next Friday, hot. and then it tries to cool it again. So, in other words, we're probably going into a fairly extended 5 to 7 day, fairly hot spell. With this kind of jet stream to the north, it'll be tough to have something extended like 2 and 3 weeks, like they would get to the south of us in the plains. We could get 4, 5, 90-degree days in a row, and then we could get a break for a couple of days. Corey Shelton, do you see more rain early next week? Dry after Friday for how long? Best guess. Okay, good question. Um, let's go back to this. I'm sorry. Let's go back to. Let me get it for you. Let's go back to it. Hey, so those of you, that's all you get. See you later if you want to go about your business, but I'll answer some questions here. Corey Shelton next week. So there's the thing, Friday night into Saturday, and the European again now brings another storm system through the Great Lakes on Wednesday or so. So, yes, there could be another chance of some rain there. Nancy Turmel, I'm supposed to be participating in the Colonial Period reenactment venue in Frankenmuth this coming weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, as a living history presenter. That sounds fun. Sunday, maybe I'll come check it out. Sunday looks like thunderstorms. Maybe only Saturday for me to go. No, Sunday looks dry. Sunday to me, you know, it's. I guess what I would say is Frankenmuth for this weekend. If there was rain, it would be early Saturday morning. It would be late Sunday evening. I think you're a go for all weekend. What's my Top Gun call? That would be, I don't know. That would be good. I couldn't do that. I'll be honest. No, no. Hey, a couple little asides here. We all have our paths, right? So when I graduated from college, you can make good money going into television. 5 to 7 years into television, you could be 60, 80, 100 grand. This was back in the early 90s. Talk to me, Goose. And I liked that. That was interesting. TV was interesting, but I could have gone on the weather service. Service started really low at that time. They were on shifts. They would switch once every week. They would go first shift, second shift, third shift. I thought, I don't know about that. Now, my friends that are retiring from the weather service have the fat federal pension and they're all set, but they paid their dues by getting up at a different time every week for the last 30 years or so, and the military. So I was actually accepted to the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy for meteorology, and it's just I thought about it, and probably if they had one of those, if the Air Force Academy had been in Illinois or the Naval Academy had been in Illinois, because I didn't really want to move that far from home. I wasn't that adventurous just yet. I probably would have done that. But hey, I wouldn't be here then, right? And that's what I remind my wife. It was our density. So there you go. This is the MLive Morning Weather Update, along with a lot of ramblings. Hopefully you got the weather you needed. Clark Hughes, thanks for joining us at the last minute, buddy. That's what retirees do. Oh, I've finished my coffee. I'll check something out. I'm going to be tracking this rain system with you. The whole forecast idea will be we'll be looking at the European, the GFS, and the NAM and see where they come. And by this time tomorrow morning, we'll have a really good feel who gets that nice quenching $1 billion rain if you have crops, or if you have landscape and a lawn and a garden, it will just be a really saving type rain. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the world's longest weather stream. Take care.